Welcome back. You're in the C Space Studio, sponsored by Integral Ad Science. I'm your host, James Kotecki, and we're here at CES 2025. Joining us right now, Rob Caruso, Director of Product Management and UX, Google TV. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thanks so much for being here. What is your message here at CES? What brings you here?
What brings us here this year, more so than years past, is really thinking about the future of Google TV with respect to AI and Gemini models really enhancing the overall TV experience. So beyond just content consumption, but also how the TV can better play in the home in a variety of use cases beyond, again, just leaning back and watching video.
And let's just make sure everybody knows what Google TV is in the kind of pantheon of different, so people might know YouTube TV, like what is Google TV specifically?
Sure, great question, thanks. So Google TV is a smart TV operating system that powers smart TVs around the world. We're on over 270 million devices around the world. We work with OEM partners that build the TVs themselves, TCL, Hisense, Sony, some of our more well-known partners here in the US. We also work with a number of operators, cable operators and telcos around the world that also integrate our operating system into the set-top boxes that power their video services for their customers.
And the consumers who have this, are they seeing the word Google on their screen? Are they getting a Google experience?
Sure, so it's a Google forward experience, it's personalized, it's very much anchored on entitled content. One of the biggest asks and requests from users around the world in the advent of smart TV is really, I want all my content in one place. So that's really sort of the
content I'm entitled to, because I
have
Netflix, I have HBO, I have all these things.
So that's sort of the core mission that really helped Google TV launch as a platform. So we integrate with all the different SVOD and AVOD providers around the world and try to bring a very personalized experience to get users the content that they want.
So let's get into that AI component that you were talking about at the beginning. What is changing? What will consumers be experiencing now thanks to Gemini and AI?
Sure, so another great question. So AI has really always been part of the Google TV story. That whole personalization layer is very much AI driven in analyzing your likes, your taste, your preferences, your behaviors, and then bringing forward to you what you would already want to watch or are already watching, and then also being a little bit more predictive of things that you may enjoy. Going a step further than just personalizing the user experience itself, we're now dabbling this earlier, I guess last year now, we announced and launched a smart home integration on Google TV with other parts of Google in our Home and Nest offerings that bring a number of different devices from Google and from other partners to the forefront on the TV. Now with using AI, we're going to be more predictive in those devices, what's happening on those devices, bringing alerts to the screen as well. So deeper integration with the smart home, and then more capabilities within those devices as well. Something else we announced this week is really turning the TV into a more ambient experience. These TVs are beautiful, mostly the largest screens in the home. And we believe that they can do a lot more and provide more value to users than, again, just streaming content. So bringing experiences where you can converse with your TV and even generate images, generate video in a more communal experience, but also detect a user's need state and adapt the screen accordingly. So there are times where the TV can act more as a smart display, more as an art frame, and also just a lean back consumption device.
And how have you seen in maybe the initial getting into this, as far as how consumers are comfortable with the TV listening to them and adapting to what they're saying? Obviously, if I'm talking directly at the TV and I'm saying, generate me a picture, and I want to do that, that's one thing. If it notices that I'm talking about businessy stuff and then it puts something related to my business on the TV, are people cool with that? You know, do they like that level of listening?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that's where we're going. It's not an always on, always listening concept per se, but if you're familiar with smart displays and smart speakers, there's a keyword, right, that will kick off whether or not you want deeper interaction. So we're really bringing that to the forefront on the TVs themselves. So thinking about integrating this proliferation of smart devices that has really grown in the past 5, 6, 7 years, and bringing that all into one, right, into one unit, into the smart TV. So asking the TV, conversing with it, I think we're very comfortable in stating that users are comfortable with that. If they so choose to. If they don't, that's also fine, fine and well. The detection that we're doing is also obviously very, privacy is top of mind and very privacy compliant. We're doing this with more proximity sensors and detection as opposed to always needing to listen or even see what's happening in the space.
I imagine that having it as a living room experience, so to speak, kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. I like to use generative AI sometimes with my kids just to have fun. Like, let's invent a story. Let's draw a crazy picture of something that you're imagining, and to do that in kind of a communal experience, it opens up new possibilities.
It opens up new possibilities. It becomes, like many other things that you could do in a communal setting, whether with family or friends.
Or business too, right? You can ideate and brainstorm.
But that shared experience and that shared device on the wall does open up entirely different use cases than, say, a tablet or a laptop, or even huddling around a mobile device. So earlier last year, we announced a generative AI screensaver capability. And again, the use cases that are emerging from that are more of what you just described, which is families sitting around, passing the mic, and creating different experiences and different pieces of art.
Once people do get into their, sit down and really want to have that smart TV experience with that content that they're entitled to, they're faced with a myriad number of streaming services, and obviously streaming is continuing to evolve. What are the milestones on streaming that you're looking at in 2025 and how that relates to your business?
It's a good question. I'd say our goals are consistent in bringing an entitled experience to users. Right now, we balance that with our other partners. So I build as a product leader for multiple constituents. We're talking a lot about the user in their living room, but the partners that build content and create content, they're also a user of our platform.
I see.
So we have to balance that entitlement and those milestones and the goals of getting users to what they want with also promoting and getting content in front of users that they may like, that is helpful for them, but also helpful for the content producers as well. And I think the rise of ad-supported content is an interesting opportunity for us, because by nature, everyone's entitled to it. So we tick that box. But the discovery of that now plethora of new content channels, et cetera, I think is an opportunity and a milestone that we're going to be very focused on. And how do we expose that to users beyond the corpus of content that they might have been using for the past few years?
And are you starting to think about opportunities maybe for those streaming partners that you're talking about at the intersection of generative AI and advertising? Is that in the mix in the conversation?
I think it's an opportunity for smart TV and for connected TV in general. I think there are different parts of the value chain and ecosystem that are probably more focused on those areas than maybe Google TV is. But I absolutely think that is going to be something in 2025 and beyond where we're going to see leaps and bounds in the advertising experience because of what generative AI can do.
Fill in the blank for me. 2025 will be the year of blank.
2025 will be the year of AI experiences on TV.
Absolutely. And last question, I'm just curious about your background, because you've worked at HBO, you've worked at Netflix. I mean, every company is a media company, every company is a tech company, let's just say that. But those two companies are closer to like the media side of the spectrum, if people might think about it. Google's maybe more of a tech company. Was there a shift coming into Google for you? Was there a change in how you needed to kind of shift your mindset?
Yes and no. I would say when I joined Netflix, it was definitely more in the tech company phase. It was rebuilding media and entertainment. Everything from the pipeline to the delivery to the experiences. I think they've shifted and evolved to much more of a media company as they've basically built the technology infrastructure for streaming. I've worked with Google for years in my days at HBO and in my days at Netflix, so transitioning to Google and the product and the platform was actually not that difficult because of that experience from the past.
Because this is what's interesting, because you're kind of like the embodiment of this convergence of tech and media into this glorious future that we're all building.
I've never thought of it that way, but it's been a fun.
You are the avatar for the future, sir, and we are glad to have spoken with you. Rob Caruso, Google TV. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for watching us here in the C Space Studio at CES 2025. We are live all day. I'm James Kotecki. Don't go anywhere, because more great conversations are just ahead.